Welcome to the Barrel Roll Newscast for March 30th, 2019.
Today we're talking Google games.
Borderlands 3.
Some upcoming Switch rumors.
And speaking of Switch, we've got Cuphead to talk about. We'll let you know why.
Hello.
Welcome to the Barrel Roll Newscast. Oh, hello again.
It's still March 30th.
It's March 30th. Welcome, guys, to the best newscast.
All the nerd news you need to know.
Best in the universe.
Yes.
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 Welcome.
Welcome.
I'm Tony.
I'm Nick.
Welcome to the show. What's going on? What's going on?
My back is trying to kill me.
Well, if you take it out, and we'll put a new one in.
I need that.
I've watched Cyberpunk 2077.
Excellent.
I watched that demo. I know how this works.
Excellent. That's what I need to happen to my life.
So, I want that for... I would love to get a cybernetic eye. Just one.
I'd like...
Cool.
Well, so... like with paintball, that was my thing. I'm like, where's my HUD?
Yes.
I have no HUD.
Yes. How am I supposed to Iron Man this? I need to know my ammo counts. I need to
Well,
know,
that's my thing. Like, how am I supposed to know how much ammo I have left?
I need to tag people so I know their last known position. I need to...
Because that was the funniest part of, like, you know, people would open up their thing to check how much ammo they have and then not press the thing down fully. And
or like
then,
the people like me, which...
But that's what I mean, because that's what happened was, like, all of a sudden
All
it's like
gone.
it wasn't pressed down hard enough, and yeah, then it's like, oh.
Well, now I have 5 shots.
Yeah. Now I know how much ammo I have. None. Where's my HUD?
I want a cybernetic eye from HUD to Google things while I'm just, you know, sitting down.
Exactly.
Remember Google Glass? Yeah.
I remember Google Glass. I was seeing now the new one is like Microsoft's got their stuff.
Yes. The HoloLens stuff?
The HoloLens stuff. That stuff is... It's getting, every iteration's getting smaller and sleeker, because they didn't do Google did like we're going to try and make glasses that are just slightly bigger than glasses.
But designer looking like still?
Like they went design look instead of...
But I think you need to start big.
They did, so that's... Microsoft has like the headset, but it does so many cool things.
Yes.
Versus...
And now I think it's wireless.
It is wireless.
I think the newer generation, new editions, but you only get it if you're a developer.
Yeah, no, because it's not a full thing yet.
And also, to be honest, if you're a developer, that's the price that you're going to have to pay for that. It's like 14 something.
Oh, yeah, no, it's still in development. I've seen some stuff used, like they used Kinect with it, the Kinect technology, and it's like, you can be in a room with someone else. So essentially, we could be in separate rooms wearing stupid goggles. See each other like we were actually there.
It's the scene from Winter Soldier when they're in the briefing room.
Legit.
The very early.
Very
scene.
cool.
It's
tech is there. Either way, that's not on our news doc. We do have other Google news though.
GDC happened. Game Developers Conference.
It did, and
that's why
we weren't live.
Yes.
So.
But this is where the news came from. Google is doing gaming officially.
Yes.
They're
not just Assassin's Creed.
Not just Assassin's Creed. There was the Project Stream.
Yes.
But it was all leading up to
Stadia.
You should probably Google should probably get that checked out.
You
should, if you've got a bad case of Stadia.
Yeah.
You might need to, take a suppository or something.
Yeah.
But it's not that. It is a game streaming service.
It is a game streaming service that still doesn't have all the details.
No, but I think with GDC happening, and I think they have their Google I/O coming up.
We get
couple more weeks here.
Couple weeks, we get more info. They said, I think April 11th or something like that. We get more info.
Google has their own dedicated conference to talk about phones and software and things like that. And obviously, Stadia will be on everyone's minds at that point.
Oh yeah. So the whole shtick to this is Google's massive database of
the data center.
Yeah, the data center. So Google's, brainchild and the heart of it all is going to host the game for you.
Yes.
It's going to run the game for you. and you are essentially going to
play it out of a browser.
Right, play it off of your Chrome browser, which means any computer,
any device with a screen,
any device essentially with a screen, can run
my smartwatch.
Stadia.
Smartwatches.
Yay.
Yeah.
Because that's what I got it.
Stab them. Stab them. Stab them. Stab.
Then we're gonna start having those peripherals like they used to make for the Game Boy that like with just a magnifying glass that attaches to your watch, so you can sit there with like a controller, like
flash. You get the light on that too.
Yeah.
Get the light on that
flashlight
sucker.
On that. Either way, that was
very
a cool
exciting.
piece of it.
I think this is exciting and terrifying at the same time.
Yes.
Exciting because obviously the tech is there for this to work.
Yeah, that's the cool piece.
As we approach 5G.
Oh, sure.
5G speeds with our mobile connections. But at the same time, like, what does this mean for developing video games?
To them it means anything.
It can be anything.
Now you don't have to worry about limitations of any console, anything.
Right. But then, like, what does this mean for other consoles as well? Like,
they screwed, man.
Yeah, exactly. Assassin's Creed. Let's use that as an example.
Sure.
Say they want to build the next Assassin's Creed, and then it's going to be... They need to both build it for Stadia.
Yeah.
But then for PlayStation 5 or Xbox, whatever, like, they need to take all of that into consideration. But obviously, they're going to try and develop for the easier one, which... Does that mean they drop the other consoles and just make it Stadia exclusive?
I was going to say the easiest thing to develop for is going to be Stadia, because there's no...
Well, there's one constant. You know everybody's going to use your data center.
Right. That's it.
Everyone will use your data center.
Your game can run. Like, that's pretty much why they were testing it with Assassin's Creed, was...
That's a pretty good... It's a pretty good...
It's a pretty good benchmark-ish type game.
Everyone plays Assassin's Creed.
It's not super powerful. It's not
There's a lot of action sequence happening in it. Like, it's a good thing to test.
Yep.
They also talked about if you were a developer and you were bringing your game to like E3 or some sort of tech demo scenario, you can literally load up a separate instance of an area that you want people to see. So if you didn't want players to see, like, you know, the first 30 minutes or whatever like that, you want to get them right into the action of your game, you can just load up an instance and they can just start from that point at all times.
Well, and then the next piece is as you're streaming, because you'll obviously be streaming this to YouTube as well.
Yes.
Or you can activate the button.
There's deep integration to all of Google services with Stadia.
But someone watching you play can be like, oh, I'd like to play that part, and hit a button and either start their own save state from that space.
Right.
Or if you're playing a multiplayer game,
basketball
they can
games,
jump in and play.
Sports games, multiplayer games.
Which, again, is going to change sports games as like a jump opt-in, opt-out sort of thing.
Right. And they kind of said that, you know, popular streamers using this will be able to queue up live events and then have, like, you know, an actual people list of, like, next up is Bob. Next up is,
that's going to be insanely cool. Like... That's the problem with us playing games, like streaming stuff. Even when we do have people watching, even when we played, what was that stupid game?
The
climbing one where we were trying to solve puzzles. Human Fall Flat.
Yeah.
And people were like, let me play with you. And we're like, what is wrong with you people? Like, no.
How?
Like,
also how?
Yeah. Like,
also how?
Well, no, no, we're good. Thanks. Like, this is our thing. Legit, because you just don't want to... And that game's a bad example, because it's like, okay, maybe you finish a puzzle, okay, you're gone, next person in.
Yeah.
But with a fighting game or something like that, we could host a Smash Bros. Event.
Racing games?
Anything that has a versus type thing to it.
Yeah.
Is going to be bona fidely awesome.
Right, so this changes things for even Battle Royale games.
Sure.
Like, if you... I think they had someone quoted them of saying... We're gonna have 1,000-player battle royale, and
sure, why not?
I mean,
like, there's no limit.
There's no limit. Your data center can obviously handle it.
Yeah.
I guess you just.
I will laugh so hard if their data centers just like
melt.
Everybody's like, this is good. Fortnite's like, it's now 1,000 people on one map. Like, that's their newest update. It only runs off the Google data center sort of thing.
You can only play it on Stadia.
And so many people join in at once that the Google data center is just like...
That's how you kill Google.
That's how we take them down.
Yes. Make Fortnite a Stadia exclusive.
Woo! I don't know.
There's so much possibility, but there's also so much, like, unknown.
Yes, there's cool aspects to it. And then there's do I pay for every game? Do I pay for as a streaming service? I think what you do is you pay for, like, there's a core
like subscription. You can play everything, but the free account will let you, say popular X streamer is streaming this game for, you can play his game for free as you jump in. Like if you
just play multiplayer with someone,
if he hosts the game, or even if you host the game, or if someone else hosts the multiplayer game, you can jump into that game without paying the subscription.
As long as it's a multiplayer.
As long as it's a multiplayer scenario,
I dig it.
And then you can only play that game.
And that makes sense.
For that instance or whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then obviously supported by ads.
Yeah.
Obviously that's what Google does.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that's a good medium.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because I watch this and I'm going, well, there's.
And then you can also limit to be like, hey, if you're a free subscriber, we're gonna have games 1, 2, 3, but we're only gonna limit X amount of scenarios that you can play. So you can't play the full game. You can't play the beginning part. You'll play like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
For this month.
Yeah, maybe. That's where now
and then really stick it to if you want to play the full game, give us $10 a month or whatever
it happens to be, or buy the full game and just play it that way.
I think it's a subscription service.
I think it's a subscription service, but in my mind, it's
because it'll fall in line with YouTube Red and YouTube Premium that they're doing. And you might, who knows, if you're a YouTube Premium subscriber, you might just get Stadia.
And that could be, and at that point, I'd finally sign up.
I would do that
because right now it is not worth it.
No.
But that's my thing now is I was looking at this going oh man, Nintendo's got to be sweating a little bit because
Nintendo, Xbox is sweating it, PlayStation's sweating it. All of them are. They all have some form of game streaming service, but not to this level.
Not to this. Well, but Nintendo's thing was we're portable, so you can play your stuff on the go, and Stadia's just oh, you're playing on your phone, you want to switch to your tablet, that's totally cool. Oh, you want to play on a Chromebook, that's you can just keep playing from where you were the last time, just bloop bloop, and you're playing again. Oh, you want to play on your TV, that's totally cool. I got a Chromecast, ba-bing, ba-bing. Got a really cruddy ass computer, that's totally cool. Play on that too, and it's just
you're playing on your work.
Rut-row.
You're at work. You want to play a game? Cool.
It's just rut-row.
The other half of this announcement was their controller inputs.
Yes,
they've announced that you can basically anything that connects to a computer as a controller, you can use that. But they're also releasing their own wireless controller.
Yes. With an assistant button and all of that.
Well, it's a Google Assistant button, but I think the coolest part about it is that instead of having the controller connect to the PC and then having the PC connect to your game in Stadia, the controller just connects straight to Stadia.
Whatever you're playing.
Wirelessly. Cutting out the computer part, fixing latency.
Yeah. Well, because that was the big issue is everybody's
that's very smart.
And that's going to be the big piece is how well does this actually run on the user end of things.
Right. But I think we're getting to the age of everyone having a good high-speed connection.
It depends on where you are. And
it really does depend on who you are. If you're still in the boonies...
You're screwed anyway. And you're screwed.
Right.
Gaming's coming to a point now where even talking about the next Xbox, they're going no hard drive.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be download and this and that and everything.
No discs.
No discs.
Yeah.
Sorry, not hard drive. No discs, that kind of stuff.
Relying
heavily on those streaming
Maybe it might
services.
not even have a hard drive.
It might not have.
This Stadia announcement is definitely going to ruffle Sony and Microsoft's feathers.
Yeah.
Of what are we going to do? We can't just pump more power into this box anymore.
Well, power is not a problem.
Yeah. Power is no longer an issue anymore, especially with Google doing this Stadia stuff.
Yeah. Power is no longer a problem when all you're doing is streaming.
Yes.
A game.
Yeah, and in this day and age where everyone can just stream Netflix, can stream YouTube.
Now the question is, can I set it so that it only streams at 720? Because I don't need 4K.
Yes.
And for data caps and that kind of stuff, because people do have data caps.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, because I pay not to have data caps. But I don't have data caps, so for me it's not an issue. But for some people it still is. So can I hit a button and be I only want to stream at 720?
I can't imagine that. I'm hoping
that's an option.
Because that's a YouTube thing that you can do.
Yeah, you can hit a little button.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that's
and they have to recognize not everyone has a 4K TV. And not everyone has data caps. The fact that I'm pretty sure that's a really small minority of tech people that have that fit into that. I've got a 4K TV, I've got a great internet bandwidth
and unlimited internet,
Unlimited internet, and let's go.
Yeah.
That's not everyone.
No.
So even if it hits 1080p, I'd be okay with that.
Sure, I could play 1080p. I'd be fine because I like my
1080p.
TV does 1080p.
Super
but,
okay with that.
Yeah.
Well, our phones and devices would work too.
Yeah. The next big thing too is obviously for people who stream on Twitch, things are going to change a little bit.
Yes, Twitch is going to.
There'll be workarounds. Obviously, you can stream. Just stream your screen.
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? We don't know.
You can stream your screen. You just won't be able to stream your.
That's just, again, you're adding some huge latency to that, though. That's going to be complicated.
Yeah, it depends. But yeah, so either way,
and honestly, like YouTube's live streaming has been. We joke about the back end of YouTube streaming, but from a user's perspective,
it's great.
It's amazing.
I would just it's just the support, I think, for people getting money and stuff is better on Twitch versus YouTube, because there's people who are on YouTube and stream on YouTube who have 500,000 subscribers and are still sitting there going like, can we get donations? Because we can barely make ends meet, and it's like you have 500,000 people watching you. And
I know Maximilian, he is a prominent fighting game streamer and a fighting game YouTuber.
Yeah.
He literally posts a YouTube video saying, I'm streaming now on Twitch, go see me.
Right.
It's like, oh, okay.
Right.
You're using a competitive platform just to say that you're on
another platform, because one platform actually helps bring about stuff and
Twitch has seen a lot. Twitch has been improving itself in the past.
Oh, we used to hate Twitch too. We've hated everybody at one point in time.
Yeah, I can believe that.
We did.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the big pieces.
Stadia, the new controller. Just it's gonna be cool.
It's exciting.
And terrifying at the same time.
Yeah.
Because
there goes the console.
How do you develop games anymore, right? Like if
you do whatever the heck you want to do.
Yeah, like the sky is literally the limit. This is the next generation of consoles.
The coolest piece about this, I think, is we're getting to that point now where there are no limitations. So those videos we see at E3 where they're like, this is like, pre-footage and like some of this might not be in the game. Most of that can make it into the game now because there's no limit. Right.
When you're only developing and patching for one thing,
yes.
You won't. I would very be surprised if there was patches that we see if we load into Stadia.
Well, and you wouldn't have to download a patch.
That's right.
Like I would just be there.
I would be very, very surprised if it was like, oh, now you have to download a patch. I'm like, but this is a data.
Yeah,
you as a developer, you just hit the.
Your game might be offline for 2 seconds.
Yes.
As a patch goes in.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah.
Or
maybe half a day. Maybe half a day. At most.
At most. But then your game comes up, or you're playing a game and it goes like, oh, this game's getting patched. Like, if you'd like the next current thing, like,
or we're
refresh.
We're kicking you off for about 10 minutes, so BRB.
Yeah.
Play another game.
Yeah. Select which other game you would like to play.
It's terrifying and exciting at the same time.
Now, the terrifying thing is, at this point, is it's going to set the consoles back to being like...
What do they do now?
Well, in safeguarding their IPs, where, like, how PlayStation wasn't getting involved in cross servers and all of that kind of stuff. They're gonna hunker down even harder now with like, nope, ours, and we're not letting go because no.
Yeah, they just started opening up a little bit.
And now I feel it. Sony's just gonna be like, nope, close all doors.
You would like to play the next Uncharted game?
Yes.
Well, purchase our PlayStation 5.
That's just it.
Would you like to play the next God of War game? PlayStation
Same
5.
with Nintendo. That's gonna be like, they're gonna have to rely heavily on their IPs just to. And like I've always laughed, PlayStation's doing a really good job with the VR stuff, and
I'm really excited for what they're doing.
Well, they just released a whole bunch of stuff where they're like, VR. Yeah. So
I really appreciate the push that they have.
They're pushing VR. Nintendo's like, hey, we've still got like the handheld console hybrid thing.
Yeah, because you can't really do VR via something like Stadia. Like it's not really. You could. But I don't think the latency and the speed is ready for VR. VR is not ready for that yet.
We don't know.
We don't know yet.
We don't know. Stadia headset. That's the next piece.
Oh God. And then we're just gonna have Stadia
Google everywhere.
Yeah, we're just gonna have that headset with 5G connections. 5G
That's what Google Glass is gonna finally turn into.
They're gonna do Google Glasses into real life. That's. Microsoft is probably sweating bullets right now.
A little bit.
I think the most of of the big three.
Well, and Microsoft, as we've always talked about, has nothing. Like, their big thing was going to be completely online digital content.
Which...
They've now been beat by Google.
Yeah.
Again.
Well, yeah, exactly. They were ahead of their time. And,
yeah.
And honestly, their announcement of it was pretty...
Yeah, they screwed up. We've talked about that, too. They screwed up with the announcement. Like, no disk drive. And it's like...
We have an offline console. It's called an Xbox 360.
Yeah, and then they made fun of everybody who, instead of just going, listen, current trends are doing this.
Right.
This is what we are doing.
This is what we see in the foreseeable future, but we've still got this box.
With the amount of people using Steam and that kind of stuff, we see the downloadable content, or the people who have downloaded most of our games versus bought our games, yada, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Because let's be honest, I own one physical game on my PlayStation. I own one physical game on my Switch.
I have one physical game on my Switch. PlayStation, I've got a few more, but yeah, like I don't. Kingdom Hearts 3, I downloaded it.
Sure.
I bought it digitally because it was just easier.
Yeah, I gotta get a hard drive for my PlayStation, but
that's a different argument. Again, you might not need a hard drive in the future.
But right now, I still need one because right now it's like, which game dies to get this game onto my console right now? So
the perpetual.
And again, that's part of the issue with the hard drives versus streaming.
Even if it's like a 2 terabyte hard drive, that's gonna fill up, as opposed to Google.
I have the Spider-Man PlayStation 4 Pro.
Right.
It is full.
And I came with a terabyte, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
whereas
full.
a data
constantly full.
Whereas a data center doesn't get full.
No.
Not really.
Well, it's like Netflix. It doesn't fill.
Yeah.
The only thing that's gonna fill is RAM on a console.
Yeah. And
if you build everything properly.
And here's the other thing with Stadia, like if the service
essentially streaming video.
If the service really is as popular as everyone wants it to be, like we institute queues? Say like, hey, I want to play the newest Assassin's Creed. Oh, all 100 instances are already full.
I don't think there's queue. I don't know.
Like, you are now the 101st person to play this game. You need to wait until someone drops out so you can fill into that.
I don't know.
Like with MMOs, what MMOs used to do.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like MMOs, a lot of them can still handle.
I'm just remembering World of Warcraft when that launched.
Oh, there's still queues in World of Warcraft when the new expansions come out. But...
Right, but that's the thing. Like, do they handle it like that? And
I don't know. I don't know how big this data set. Like, that's the piece.
There's so many unanswered questions.
How powerful is this?
How much are we paying for this service? That will justify. If I'm paying $20 a month,
I'll wait in a queue.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
You think so?
Well, to play a brand new game that just came out.
Maybe.
Without having to wait to download it or do it like it comes out at midnight and I'm playing it at midnight.
Yeah. We've gone past the point of like playing games at midnight but having to download them. Now we're not even downloading them anymore.
That's my thing. Like,
if the service really is,
I can see this being $60 a month. But if you think about it, that's me not having to buy any new games ever. But that's also me never owning any games ever.
Right. That's the other terrifying part of this. We will never own video games.
Right.
We will never own a single video game. Like literally never own it. That's the problem. So if the developer goes like
people are already cautious about digital buying,
right.
Like you don't own your games, and it's like, well, you sort of do until the service explodes.
And then like you can still download it until then, like Marvel games. I think Transformers was one of the other ones that just dropped, like the license disappeared, and if you had it, you had it.
Yeah.
PT. But yeah, like in this case, in Stadia, if the developer goes, bottom side up, they can pull that game and you can never play it ever. Because you technically don't own it. Like,
at least in my Steam library,
you can download it.
I own my 600 and some games.
And there are some games on my library that I legitimately can't purchase anymore.
Right.
Because either that version is no longer valid or they pulled the game or whatever, but it's on my hard drive.
Yeah.
They can't take it away from me.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing with Steam. Like, even when it's not available in the store, at least you can still download it. Like, it exists somewhere in, the depths of their
data center.
Their data center.
Whereas Google's data center,
like Google can just, it's like, well, you don't own it, so...
Goodbye. Yeah, like...
Ubisoft stopped partnering with us, so there goes all the Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. EA's no longer with us. Buy all sports games.
Right. So that's the piece is, like... And I also think we're going to start seeing more people starting to pay for exclusive like stuff,
especially with Epic's stores.
Epic Store's been stealing all sorts of games.
They just snagged another one, didn't they? They snagged another one.
Well, Satisfactory's definitely
no, not that one. They snagged another one.
I don't know. They keep doing it, and it's pissing people off.
Yes.
In the background of the Epic Store, it reads your completely and utterly already public profile from Steam. They're trying to steal your data.
Apparently.
They're trying to steal your data.
In 2019, they're still trying to steal your data.
They're trying to steal your already public data.
I had to make my Steam profile public just to do that thing, and then
I know.
And I closed it back up. I was like, no.
Whatever. But yeah, like that's Epic's been doing it and paying some good money
and you think of the money that Epic has compared to the money that Google has. Like they can just buy developers.
Well, sure.
They can just buy. Well, I don't want to say they can buy EA. Probably not EA, but
they probably could. They probably should.
That would be the next level acquisition of like Disney and Fox. That would be that level of acquisition. Yeah. That's what you're thinking of. I think they pick up smaller developers.
Oh, probably. And that's the next cool thing is all the old games that were around. They can just release, you know, for us to play and do their stuff with.
Meanwhile, while they're making bigger games.
Right. But like all of a sudden, you know, our problem with Red Dead Redemption 2, people haven't played Red Dead Redemption 1.
Yes.
Boom.
Yep. Done. I mean, that's assuming that they want to make a PC version of Red Dead.
But they don't need to make a PC version. It comes with a controller. Works on who knows what now. But like we don't know how Stadia runs.
No, and I think with Google I/O coming up in the next whatever, we'll find a little bit more information of price details.
Like for all we know, it could be running a freeware PlayStation whatever emulator on it, because without them, like it's like it's free. Just cut off the thing that says PlayStation only.
Station. Shh. It's just called the Station.
It's like glazed over with Stadia.
Stadia Station.
Stadia Station.
That's a pretty good name or something.
But yeah, like that's the big piece. Even Steam with Steam Link, you know, they've been trying to push Steam Link on the phone so that you can push it to your TV, and it's like play all your Steam games on your TV, and it's like straight from your phone. Totally cool. You can play all your Steam games like on your phone through Steam Link, and it's like
why aren't you doing it?
That's nice. And save states being a big thing.
Yeah, save states will be huge, especially for developers, for people who want to give out demos to anyone, really. Yeah. Think of like at E3, you could say, I've got this demo here on the show floor, but you, if you're a Stadia subscriber, you can also play that demo.
Sure, play it at home.
Yeah.
Watch the trailer and then click a button and bam!
Yeah, you're watching the trailer on YouTube, play that scene right now.
Well, because essentially that's what they even promised. They're like, you're watching, again, because they kept using Assassin's Creed for most of their stuff. They showed off Doom, they showed off a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, Doom was another one. Yeah, that was the other.
But they showed off, like, you're watching the Assassin's Creed trailer. You're like, wow, this looks pretty good. Now the bottom, like, one of those actionable buttons that pops up is play.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, yeah, play. 5 seconds later, you're in the game, and it's like...
You're in that exact same spot that left off from the trailer. Or they could do a trailer thing, like, this is the trailer, and then the gameplay cuts off and says, do you want to continue from here?
Sure. There's so much weird...
So much potential that they can do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a scary thought process as to, where stuff's going.
It's good and terrifying.
It's good and terrifying all at the same time. And I hope all the console people...
Thanks
for that.
Thanks, Google.
And I hope Sony and Nintendo find a way through this.
Yeah.
Microsoft, I've always hoped for the best for you, but...
They've been doing good, but just not enough.
No. They've been doing a lot of stuff on the side, which has been good.
Like Game Pass is always going to be awesome, I think.
And they've been buying enough studios where things could work out well for them.
They just picked up Obsidian.
Yeah, something like
Yeah, they picked up Obsidian, the original Fallout guys.
Yeah. So, we'll see. We'll see if this next game's on Stadia.
Yes, we'll see.
Speaking of which.
Borderlands!
There's another one.
Borderlands 3! Gearbox beat Valve and counting to 3.
Yay!
Borderlands 3. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this game. I'm so excited for this game.
There's something else they announced too.
A Game of the Year edition for Borderlands 1?
No.
Maybe, I don't know. It was they unveiled it at PAX this weekend.
They did.
That was their big reveal, and boy howdy, it's I love Borderlands.
I like Borderlands.
I think
I never pass. Like, I always get to the same point in Borderlands, and I'm done.
The big thing about Borderlands for me is that it's one of those shoot looters. It's one of those, color coded gun things.
Yep.
But we always joke and talk about, like, those kinds of games are really good with friends. But this is one of those games. Borderlands is one of those games where it's great with friends, but as a single player,
still solid,
still great.
Yeah, like fun world, all this, like
all the character, tons of just everything. I'm really excited for what the new look, because obviously jumping from the PlayStation 3 to 4, Xbox to 360 to Xbox One kind of thing, it kind of still has that cell shaded look to it.
Oh yeah,
just crisper.
Oh sure,
it just looks nicer. And so, yeah, like this is the game that no one thought would actually ever happen.
No, legitimately.
And then they announced, like, oh, it's going to be, Borderlands is going to be at PAX. Stay tuned tomorrow for the trailer. And everyone just lost their collective mind.
And it's a mobile-only game.
Fuck. And fuck.
No, it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it's Borderlands.
It's Borderlands. They also announced Bulletstorm Duke of Switch.
That's the one.
Bulletstorm's coming to Switch with Duke Nukem as a playable character.
I don't want that. You've unsold it for me.
You've
unsold it.
I did not understand.
Well, what happened was they made Bulletstorm for the Xbox One and PS4, and they had the Duke as a character.
Yeah.
And they actually voiced and recorded the Duke for the single player campaign if you chose to play as the Duke. So that's basically that version for the Switch. And honestly, that like unsells it for me. You tell me you got a new like a Bulletstorm remake or like a port coming. Whatever, I'm interested. You put the Duke in there. I'm less interested now. I think his time has come and gone.
Duke Nukem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either that or Gearbox needs to just go full ham with Duke Nukem. Make a new Duke Nukem game. Just go deep into it. Don't just have him as a side character.
They tried.
No, they picked up a game.
That's true. They pick up the game. They should have just canceled that game.
Yeah, they should just picked up the rights and canceled it at the same time. That would have been a great news story. Gearbox
receives Duke Nukem game and cancels it right away. We're restarting.
Yeah, like if they just go full ham into a new Duke Nukem game, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But don't give me just a taste of Duke Nukem. Like that, I don't.
Yeah, that's the piece of it.
Like he's so much a character of himself that he should have his own game.
It's tough to do Duke Nukem
especially in this day and age.
This day and age is not a good time for Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you have to do like the sorry not sorry kind of thing. Like we're putting this character
South Park does that very, very well. They write that line very close to like, you know what, we're just gonna offend everybody.
Yeah, and legit with a Duke Nukem game, it's like we are going after everything, and to heck with it.
Just have an entire level where he's fighting anti-vaxxers.
Sure.
And he's like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this?
But legitimately, like it's that thing where you just have to go hog wild with don't give me the misogynistic.
Do not give me a taste of Duke Nukem. Yeah. Just give me the full plate.
Like you want to piss off every feminist group known to man with this one game.
Yeah.
And it's just
go own it
and just be like, that's Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, he's a turd. We get it.
Yes,
that's
why we liked his game in the 90s.
He is a giant misogynistic butthole, and that's this game.
The cops were pigs. Man, the cops were legitimate
pigs. Like
that's.
And that's the point where they have to go with Duke. Is just.
Don't ride that line. Just go over it.
Go so far past that line. Like the last game came out, and it's like you can throw poop, and it's like,
that's okay. I can believe that.
But I never saw Duke as a guy who would pick up feces and throw it.
But he knew, and he says that.
Yeah.
So, in a way that they kind of do recognize that as like, why am I picking up shit?
Yeah. Whereas, the strippers and I remember that from the original game where it was like, he was a giant pig. That was the whole point. Hello. How's it going? Only two. We're all slowly dying. You don't know. They are. You don't know it, but I am also slowly dying.
Actually, I woke up with a sore throat this morning.
Yeah, I don't know.
I accidentally used my fiance's toothbrush and she had a cold recently.
That'll do it.
Yeah. But I'm fine. I drink a lot of orange juice.
My back is killing me.
Drink more orange juice.
Otherwise, I'm alive, I'm tired, and my back hurts. But either way, yeah. Like,
Borderlands 3.
Borderlands 3.
I hope there's no Duke Nukem in there. If anything, just like one character that's named the Duke and he gets like murdered. That'll be
the fun piece of it all. So this is like a mini plague. Yeah, and it only affects the people at this table.
Yay!
It's because 2 of us are on vacation, so our body's relaxed to the point where...
Off,
yeah. And legit, I slept funny, and that's why my back hurts. It was nothing... It was nothing.
You relaxed too hard.
It's not like I was mowing a lawn or shoveling snow or anything like that. I relaxed so hard
that you just turned off.
Crushed my back. Yeah. Either way, Borderlands 3.
Super excited.
I should probably finish the first game.
You don't need to.
It's funny because I get into that town.
2 is probably a better one to play right now.
I get into the first little town, and then they have me go and beat up. I go into that valley. Like, there's a valley you have to go into.
The only thing I remember from the first game is the graveyard, like, scene that you're walking through, and then the town. It was the first. Like, it was the first piece.
Oh yeah, no.
I don't remember much about Borderlands 1 or 2.
I
just remember breaking Borderlands 1.
Yep.
I made the tank. No, the guy with the turret.
Oh yeah.
So I made the turret. I set him up. I set him up so that I threw grenades that stole health from enemies to heal me. But while I stood in around my turret, it recovered my grenades.
Heck yeah.
So I just sat there spamming grenades, and then 5 seconds later, I have my grenades again. And then I put the turret back out, and then I just rinse and repeat. I broke it. It was great.
Do you have it on the PC?
I have it somewhere. That'd be a great game to play.
I was going to say, we should stream that.
Or either Borderlands 1 or even Borderlands 2.
Okay.
Maybe the pre-sequel.
I have 1 and 2, I think, on the PC.
They were on a Humble Bundle recently, weren't they?
I think so.
Within the last couple months.
I don't know.
I'll have to look. It might not be expensive anyways.
They're
probably. It's Borderlands 1. It's been out for a few years.
Yeah, just a couple.
Moving on.
Totally stream that. Either way, yes, moving along.
Moving on. Nintendo Switch rumors. Lots of people are picking up on these, and a lot of people are more or less... The only people that haven't confirmed it
Nintendo.
are Nintendo themselves. 2 new Switch consoles coming by the end of either this... Like, one coming out this summer, and one coming out a little bit later on.
Yep.
The one coming out this earlier
Yep.
is the one that's going to be targeted towards people who still have a 3DS.
Yes.
That sounds like it's going to be just like a hardware refresh, nothing too crazy in it. It might have the connected Joy-Cons, better battery life, things like that.
Yep.
Nothing huge. But they also have a actual Switch, for lack of a better term, Pro.
Sure.
A Switch Pro with a CPU bump.
Yeah.
With a better display, probably.
Probably.
A console that's catered towards gaming enthusiasts.
Sure.
Shall we say? I think it's a smart time, especially with Pokemon coming out.
I was gonna say Pokemon's coming out.
Pokemon's gonna come out sometime around November, December.
Yep.
If the Switch Pro makes it out in and around then.
Yep.
That would be a good time for them to launch that, and then. Of course, during the summer, you want to get as many people as you can.
Oh, for sure.
Especially if you're wanting to wean people off of a 3DS still.
Yep.
I'm excited for more information about this. I like to see, because my fiance is one of those people that is like, I don't want to Switch.
But I want
to Pokemon.
Yes.
So what do I do? And I told him, like, you can either get this one now.
Or we can see what happens when Pokemon comes out.
In a couple of months, or... Yeah.
Well, and you honestly might as well wait for a Pokemon to come out.
Yes. That's the big thing. Like, not everyone is, like us, right? But,
yeah.
So, yeah, like, I think that, and price-wise, it could be the same price. Like, the new one coming out, like, the connected controllers, the one that's targeted to get people away from 3DSs. I see that being the same price as... Like the regular Switch that we have right now.
Yep.
What is it, like $299 or something like that? $399. It's not $399. It's like $299 or something.
I'm just being kind to the internet.
Be kind to the internet.
Yeah, we're good. I got this.
Okay.
I can see it being a little cheaper because obviously if it's geared at the handheld people, no dock.
No dock. I think if you do connect the controllers to it, like
you've got to be able to do that just because party mode, like or tabletop mode.
Tabletop mode. I think if you do that, if you keep the controllers like attached to the display itself, do you put a bigger battery in there?
Probably.
You can probably like stick a bigger battery.
Yeah, because everything can just streamline your.
You got a lot more wiggle room.
Yeah, as long as you can connect other Joy-Cons to it, obviously. From outside.
Please update it so that the charging port is not on the bottom, or something. Fix that. That is my one request.
Yeah.
Out of all of this, do not like everything else is fine design wise. That's a bad design choice. That's a bad design choice.
Legit, that needs one on the bottom, one on the top.
One on the bottom, one on the top.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, something like on the side even.
Well, the big piece was like because to put it in the dock.
Yes.
You know.
So like on paper, it's like cool.
On paper, it makes much sense.
But in practicality, or even give me a bigger kickstand.
Something.
Bigger kickstand, like one that like folds the entire back, like a Surface Pro.
Yeah. Or
2 kickstands, even.
Something. And I mean, I bought the $12 thing that
you shouldn't have to.
You shouldn't have to.
That's the big thing. Is you shouldn't have to get something.
But maybe that's what the mobile thing instead of a dock comes with. That.
I think that's.
I think it's junk.
That is a bad idea. Yeah. That is a bad idea.
But they should just put the charging.
Fix the charging situation. That's a bad place for it.
It's a bad place for the well, again, it's a good place for the charging and like all of that stuff for
inversely, if you think
plugging it into a dock.
Now this is just like crazy tinfoil hat things. What if it doesn't go into a dock anymore? What if you don't dock this Switch? What if it's literally designed as handheld only? Like if you try to dock it, it'll be like.
I think that kills part of the Switch's allure. So if you bought it as a handheld and you're like, oh, this is really cool. I wish I could play it on my TV, and it's like, well, if
which one are you playing it on? Are you playing it on this one?
Yeah.
Or are you playing it on the Pro one? Or no.
Like you have to make everything work together at this point.
Right.
It's not like the 3DS.
We've been fortunate enough so far that basically we've got one game that you can't play on the TV. I think 1 or 2 games that you can't play on the TV due to the necessity of the touchscreen. So, I think Super Mario Maker 2 will be huge because I don't know if I want to use this terrible touchscreen for Mario Maker. I loved the resistive touchscreen when I was making levels because this is not as precise as some of our other touch. Other screens because it's a pretty. If you really think about this screen, it's not the world's greatest screen.
No, I'm trying to think now. Mario Maker wise, I think you can obviously do it with a controller.
You do, yeah. If you're making Mario Maker, you obviously have to design it with controller in mind as well.
Yeah.
You just have to.
Yeah.
You can't not.
Yeah.
But when you think Mario Maker, a ton of people use the touch
stylus.
It's a 100% a stylus game.
Yeah.
But you can't do that with this touchscreen anymore. Those fat capacitive pens, you're not going to get the fine detail.
No.
So it's interesting. What?
Yeah, I'm intrigued by what Mario Maker is going to look like and what it's going to do.
But yeah, like this new Switch, the 2 new Switch consoles coming out.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what they end up looking like. I don't feel myself ditching this one.
Yeah.
For the casual one.
No.
Or the new one. Depending on what the Pro one brings to the table, will be huge.
It's got to be a very big improvement, and I usually skip. Like even with the 3DS, I skipped every like second thing that they'd they'd come up with something new, and then it's like, okay, I'll wait, and then I'd get the next one.
I think that also the big question mark is if they do make a Pro version of a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
And it's being targeted as like the new Switch.
Yeah.
Well, the new 3DS also had that CPU bump.
Sure.
But really, like, I want to say Xenoblade Chronicles needed it. I think
Binding of Isaac needed it.
Binding of Isaac needed it. I think Box Boy 2 needed it.
I forgot.
Something like that. There was only about like 3 or 4 games that you needed a new 3DS to play for. But on the flip side, that really affected some of the other games that were coming out for both versions of it. Hyrule Warriors is literally the textbook example of like, you do not want to play this game on a regular 3DS.
Right, and that's where Nintendo's got to really watch it, because you don't want to piss off everybody who bought your console.
Right. You don't want to have like
at launch and
a situation where it's like, the new Mario is coming out. Which version or which console do you have? Oh,
that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
you bought this console. You supported us when this.
You are SOL.
Yeah, you bought this console when it first came out, because nothing pisses off. Like that's my.
That'll be huge.
Well, my in-laws are hilarious because like they have a.
They have a Wii.
They have a Wii.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like the Wii U came out, and they're like, "Well, there's a new one already," and I'm like, "Well, it's been 5 years or whatever."
How often do you change your cell phone?
Well, right, but like it's been 5 years already. Da 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 da. And then all of a sudden this was coming out, and I'm like, yeah, the Switch is coming out, and they're like, another one already, and I'm like, well, now it's been 10 years at least 10 years since you've bought that console.
Yeah.
Like
technology kind of works.
We've gone way past a Wii at this point, and they're just like, well, but still. So for them, if another one of if they had bought a Switch and all of a sudden it's like new Switch, like get it now, they'd be like, I just bought my Switch, and that's gonna be a lot of parents because again,
how new is the Switch? 2 years?
2 years.
How old is it? 2 years, yeah.
Two.
When did
Hey Google, when did the Nintendo Switch come out?
Nintendo Switch was introduced in 2017. Would
wow,
you like to
2
hear
years,
more?
yeah.
No, thank you.
No problem.
That's why I put her there.
Yeah.
Fact checking. So yeah, 2017.
She's still thinking.
Oh yeah, she listens.
I don't want to talk anymore. I don't want to talk anymore.
But yeah, like it's that piece
it's
where
2 years.
2 years old.
Because then I'm trying to think of the 3DS, and when
not even. It's like a year and a half because it came out in the summer.
Right. I'm trying to think of the time frame between the 3DS and 3DS XL to the new 3DS.
The new 3DS was quite a ways into its life cycle. Right. I remember the XL came out, and that was where I was like, eh.
Yeah. I think we were all like that, except we were waiting for designs.
Right, other than the designs coming out and that kind of stuff. And it was, because I ended up getting one for Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
But it's like, because the bigger screen does the 3D better. And it's like, but it doesn't fit in my pocket.
Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's cool.
With the new one where it's like your games will run better. It's got the little C-stick that's going to help with some games, this and this and this.
But then
and this,
again, you have to have that level of developers of like, do not nerf your games.
Right.
Like, you have to, if you can provide a speed or a power boost, do it. Don't build backwards. Build forwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's an interesting, the jumps and leaps that are going to have to, so that's where I say, like, a new one with maybe a better battery to it is cool.
Screen. Please, better screen.
And maybe a better screen.
Put a real screen on.
But
like I appreciate what the screen has done for me so far.
Yeah.
But come on. It's 2019. Like at least put a 1080p screen in this sucker. Bring that panel closer so it doesn't actually look like junk.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my piece where I sit there now looking at it going, like if they do come out with a Pro, for me in this household, like my wife doesn't really she'll play with me for certain games, but it'll be co-op stuff.
Right. My fiance is basically like that too. It's like, is it Pokemon? Is it Mario Kart?
But if a new one well, that's the thing. Like Mario Kart, what are we gonna do? Like, I guess we could play Mario Kart handheld if I bought the Pro version.
Yes.
And I would give her.
But that seems like a very small case scenario.
It's a very small case scenario. So for me, it's like this Pro version has to do like for a better screen. I'm cool with the screen the way it is. It works for me. It does what it needs to do. I'm not going to drop another $400-$500 on.
And here's the thing, like so this casual one, Switch, if it's priced at the same price this one is, $299.
Sure.
Or is it $250? I don't know.
The Switch?
Yeah.
$300.
I'm pretty sure they dropped it by 50 recently. Fact checking on how much it is.
Fact checking.
Nintendo
Switch in Nintendo.
So just the base one, $379.
$379.99.
Right. So if this one comes out the same price as $379.99.
Yeah.
And then they announce the Pro one, which is, let's say, $450.
Sure.
$450. do I justify, like, for her, like, does she justify getting just the casual one or waiting and picking up the pro one? Like, it's tough, right?
There's a lot of weird questions to be
And for
asked.
her, she doesn't give a shit.
Right.
Like, she'll just does it play Pokemon?
Yes. Done.
So, like, it is for her. Like, I don't think she's gonna notice a difference.
Like I say, I think if they drop a handheld only mode, sort of, or a handheld only one, so no dock, maybe your Joy-Cons are attached, all that jazz.
Yeah.
I think it's cheaper.
Like, you can't not make it that cheaper. You have to.
I think you drop it lower than $379.90, like $380.
Right.
You still have your standard Switch.
Yeah.
Which comes with the dock and all of that for $380. And then, yes, if you're doing a pro one,
which
it's
is like
$450.
Yeah.
With better screen, better
battery life, real kickstand.
Yeah. Like, I consider...
More internal storage, perhaps, even.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe.
Because this only has, like, 8, right? Or even 4 gigs? I don't even know.
I forgot.
Pretty paltry in today's standards.
Yeah. My big I guess the handheld one would be, like, the 2DS.
Yes, it would be it's considered, the reports are classifying it as the 2DS version of the Switch, the Pro one being the new 3DS version of the Switch is what they're kind of getting at.
And by new, it better be new. It better have a lot of extras to it.
Okay, all right. To have one stick in the middle that you hold with your hand and have a trigger on the back of it.
Yeah.
And it's a terrible analog controller, and it will wobble after a couple years.
Yes.
And then actually have it just a 3-prong controller, actually. We'll just leave it as a 3-prong controller.
Keep talking.
Yeah. Anyways, so yes, that's the Nintendo Switch rumors. We don't know what's happening. I think Eurogamer picked it up. A bunch of other news people have picked it up. But we'll see what happens with it. Moving on to other Nintendo Switch news, exciting news. The Nintendo Indies, the Nindies video, I think that dropped last week. We weren't here for that one. They basically dropped a ton of indie games that are coming out. Some of them are relatively exciting. Some of them I'm really, really looking forward to. I think the big one that no one was surprised to see happen, Cuphead, is now available, will be available, I think, next week or sometime in April. Will be available for the Nintendo Switch. And I think one of the big deals about it is that it's being co-developed still by Microsoft. I'm not entirely sure who makes Cuphead, but Microsoft is planning deep integration with Cuphead on the Nintendo Switch. Are you dying? Was it Mormons?
No, it was political parties. Tis that time of year.
Tis that time of year.
I'm very polite to them. They come to my door. He was actually very nice, but not pushy, which was good. He just handed me the pamphlet. He's like, "There's information online," and I'm like,
"Cool,
oh, man,
cool.
You would almost win my vote, except I hate your party politics." You should have brought them on the show. Excuse me, sir. I'm doing an internet show right now. Do you want to have? Do you like? Then we have to invite all of the political parties.
Oh yeah. Well, unless we do not name his political party.
I'm pretty sure he would name his political party.
You think
I'm pretty sure they're pretty brazen in the fact of the things that they do.
I don't follow any politics, so I
should follow some politics.
I do follow them, but I'm not like it. Like I don't know. I don't.
Just have him talk about games.
I'm in the vacuum of like I don't like any of them.
Well, I think that's the best way to always look at them. I always tell people that it's like you should never. You're never gonna love every political party.
Right. Everyone's gonna say something wrong.
Yeah, everybody's gonna screw something up. You just have to look at what they're not gonna screw up the most. Just have him talk about game. He was about 800. So Pong.
Atari stuff.
Yeah. Either way, Cuphead.
Cuphead on the Switch.
Yeah.
So Microsoft is planning on bringing Xbox Live functions to the Cuphead version on the Nintendo Switch, which I think is wild. Because if you really think about what that means, it's leaderboards. It's I don't know that they go as far as competitive multiplayer stuff because I don't think there's online multiplayer for Switch or for Cuphead anyways.
There could be now.
Who knows? They're bringing leaderboards, achievements, and some other stuff. But I don't think you'll be able to do game save. Game save might be
probably not.
Might be stretching it a little bit too much.
But yeah, like the
that's cool.
Well, and I know Microsoft has talked about it now. Like, there's not going to be the functionality on the Switch. It's going to be game based.
Yeah, they're going to do it. Yeah, they're
every game now can choose to.
They say that now, but I can't not see a Game Pass coming to the Switch but
that's what I mean. Like, I can honestly,
eventually,
with all the problems.
This might be them testing the waters of how many people actually
use it.
Yeah, use it. How many people actually link their Xbox account to a Switch?
And in-game voice chat apparently is a piece of this whole thing.
Yep.
So,
yes.
Again, not having to use my bloody phone.
Yeah, and kind of going back on the Switch rumors, I think they need to fix that.
Yeah.
Fix the microphone thing. Ditch your terrible phone app.
Yeah.
Put an actual
I mean the phone app that no one they have to know no one uses that app.
The easiest fix is just to put a Bluetooth receiver in the Switch so that we can hook up a Bluetooth microphone.
Whoa.
What?
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 Easiest fix in the world. And then you can use that on the Switch. Yeah, as a Bluetooth accessory. Yay.
Hello?
You're speaking to... Hello, this is Internet. Hello, this is Internet.
How may I help you today?
Hello, this is Internet.
Yeah, like legit. That's that big piece of it. Is I.
There are so many possibilities once you put, and I think that might scare Nintendo is the amount of possibilities if you do put a Bluetooth receiver in there.
Yeah,
but you have to. That's just up to you to make sure you have a secure system, right?
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Yeah, I don't know. That's it. I think Microsoft can fix a lot of those pieces for that kind of thing. Like, that's what I say. Microsoft at this point should stop making consoles and just focus on, they can make games, develop games.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Microsoft Studios brings you...
Halo.
Sure.
Halo.
But who cares? And work on the back-end tech of stuff. Like, Xbox Live could still be a thing.
It's pretty popular.
Without an Xbox.
It's pretty powerful, too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in Xbox Live.
Like, even Game Pass on the PC.
Game Pass on the PC would be huge. I could play 360 games on the PC.
Right.
I'd pay for that still.
Like, that'd be
I'm so close. I'm so close to paying for Game Pass, except it doesn't work on the PC.
Right.
Like, just do it.
Yep.
Just freaking do it.
I know.
Except Google beat them to it.
Well, yeah. Now they're like, oh no.
Google's super beating them to it.
Now we have to have good games on our Game Pass.
Not just games.
Gears of War.
Fusion Frenzy. Fusion Frenzy.
Oh, the pirate one. The pirate one. Sea of Thieves.
I was going to say Blinks the Time Cat. But yeah, you're sure. Yeah. Sea of Thieves is much better than that.
See, and this is also Nintendo's got to pick up on their, like, we pay for their, I pay for their online service. Not... Well, I do it the cheap way, but I pay for the online service.
Oh yeah.
But their virtual console that's on is
every once in a while they'll update it and it's like, okay, cool.
You get new games every month.
Yeah.
So like my PlayStation 4, I'm getting.
This month was Call of Duty and The Witness, which The Witness is amazing.
Call of Duty also good. Both games, like actually
like really freaking good
solid.
Games.
We're getting Conan next month, which yay, we can run around naked. And oh no, there was another one that I have on my PC where I'm like, oh, that's a game that like we were playing, and now all four of us, if we want to, could technically play because it's free.
Yeah.
But we get games like that on the PS4, and then on Nintendo, it's like, here's your free games for the month. It's
an old NES game.
A very old NES game that
Balloon
you
Fight.
May or may not remember. I hope you enjoy it.
Do you want to joust?
Also, a special edition of it where it makes it 3,000 times harder, because that's what everybody wanted out of their Nintendo games, was for them to be harder. Because I know Zelda was not, hard enough already.
They need to extend it to Super Nintendo games. Just
even at Super Nintendo games, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
Nintendo games, it's like, yes, I
NES
enjoy
games,
them.
yes,
like my NES games, I love.
Yes,
there's Super Nintendo was.
That's when the gaming really kicked up a notch.
Yeah.
Because that's when Nintendo actually had to put effort into things.
Yeah. So either way, yeah. Some other games that came out in that indie shtick.
I don't know what the Zelda game is.
Cadence of Hyrule.
Cadence of Hyrule.
Yeah.
It's basically a spin-off from Necro Dancer.
Necrodancer. Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Right. Which I never really heard much about that game, but then when I saw that trailer for Cadence, I was like, I need to check this game out.
I checked it out.
What is this game?
I've checked it out. It's too like, 8-bitty for me still. Mm-hmm. Like Cadence of Hyrule looks gorgeous.
Right.
It looks like they took Minish Cap graphics and souped them up.
Yeah, put them into a game. As soon as he walks into like, this is Link to the Past castle.
Yeah.
This is the Link to what's happening?
Yeah, like they took those graphics and bumped them up, and I'm like, this looks gorgeous. Does the other game look like this? And then I looked at Crypt of the Necrodancer, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to check out gameplay of this game just to see what it is. But essentially, it's rhythm-based combat.
Oh, why am I not there? Why am I not playing this game?
I'm waiting for the Zelda one at this point, just because it's got the look, it's got the music, it's gonna have.
And I think the other side of the story is, like, Nintendo's opening up.
Very much so with their IPs.
Nintendo is really like, you want to make a Zelda game? Okay, what's your developer? What games do you make?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Make a Zelda game.
Well, and essentially, like, Crypt of the Necrodancer was popular enough. Like, I know people who know, like, it's a big enough thing where it's like, this is a popular IP, it's an indie IP, but to show our force with, like, our nindies.
Yes, our partnership.
Our partnership here. Take Link and do something. And it's like...
That's bold. Like, that's one of your big IPs. Like, are you sure?
And
now this is going to be canon. Are you sure?
And again, there's probably, like, a Nintendo stamp that says, like, veto, where, if, like, you know, they show off the game, Nintendo's like, nope.
Yeah, we're not canceling this game.
Yeah, this game is done.
Why does Link have a machine gun?
We've learned from the CDI. Because people still talk about that. And
I don't want to talk about Wand of Gamelon's great.
Oh, God.
At least it's not BS, The Legend of Zelda.
I was just going to say.
Those were cool, though.
Either way. So we got that, and then... Zero Katana or Katana Zero looked interesting.
Yeah, that was real cool. That was another one of those side-scrolling action.
Yeah.
It almost looks like The Messenger.
Sort of.
I want to try The Messenger. Side note, I really need to play that game. But it looks like one of those action jumping games. And it looks great.
Yeah. There was a tactics game.
Yeah, a tactics game. I was really, really interested. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Can't remember what it was called.
But it was like a zombie apocalypse, and you have to...
every time is different.
Yeah. But, like, the big piece is you have to decide, am I going to save the dog or am I going to save my partner?
Yeah.
And you have to make those tough decisions. And every run is going to be a little bit different. It kind of feels like Into the Breach a little bit.
It's a little Into the Breachy. It's a little... I think Into the Breach, though, those levels are very static.
They're very static.
These ones are very much like, it's now day 2, and it'll just spin the wheel of, like, what's going to happen today?
Yeah. Oh,
you've run into a dog.
Yes. Also, your car broke down.
Yeah. Death Road to Canada.
Basically.
Yeah.
I love the visual style of that. It looked really, 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 really cool. I'm looking forward to that. And a lot of them are actually coming out, like, this summer.
Yeah.
A lot of those indie games are coming in the summer. Cuphead's coming out, like, on the 16th or something like that.
I was going to say
April. Pretty soon. Crypt of the Hyrule.
Cadence of Hyrule.
I think that's going to be end of summer.
I think so.
I can see that happening pretty soon.
I'm excited about that one. That one looks pretty cool.
Yeah, like that also came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Of all things to come out.
With, like, the cool remix Zelda stuff. Like,
yes.
Yeah, you.
Yeah. We got little heart symbols on top of the enemies. Yeah, that's...
I got a couple that I remembered.
What's up?
So here's the movie news, because we didn't movie news.
Yes.
The guy who played Boomerang in Suicide Squad is coming back to play Boomerang in James Gunn's Suicide Squad.
That's all right. That's funny.
So it's not like a full-on reboot. Like, they keep saying reboot.
Yeah, I'm not...
I feel like they mean the word... They refresh.
The wording on that... on the marketing for Suicide Squad 2 needs to be very clear.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea where that movie is going.
They're bringing Harley Quinn back, obviously, with Margot Robbie. They're bringing back Boomerang now, apparently.
Do you do any other, like, heroes in there, maybe? Like, as a cameo?
I don't know. But, like, there's the piece now is James Gunn, I feel, is doing, like, it's Suicide Squad. Anybody can be on the Suicide Squad. So we'll bring Boomerang back. We'll bring Harley Quinn back. Mm-hmm. And we'll just make another Suicide Squad movie where maybe they won't be fighting a giant god that, you know, half of them can't fight.
Was Bane ever part of the Suicide?
I think so.
Yeah, have Bane.
Yeah.
Have Bane.
And if not, who cares?
Like, have proper Bane. Not like...
I'm a Batman. I'm an unracing man. I look so skinny when you look at me. What? Mad Max. It's a good movie.
Man, Venom was so good in that movie. That and
proper Bane. I think
Bane.
Like with the hoses and having like the proper luchador mask, everything like that.
He can still be smart. Like that was the piece. In
the
comics, he can still talk.
And he was very intelligent.
Correct. So like Batman and Robin, Batman Forever, whichever one had Bane in it.
Oh yeah, where they made him like basically dumb dumb
muscle,
dumb level Hulk.
Yeah. That was bad for that, but he looked good.
Visually is fine.
Visually looked great.
Terrible
character done wrong.
Terrible representation of the character.
Yeah, and then good representation-ish of the character in Nolan's Batman.
Yeah,
but
did not physically have
that presence because that's he's supposed to be. And I get that they're going for the realism, but
at some point you have to just
we're doing a Batman show.
Just do it. Yeah. Just do it. He's
big.
Yeah,
the whole point is he injects himself to become huge.
Yeah, he had none of that in the Nolan.
He really didn't. Like did he ever take the like
he had something, but it was never.
But like even like a jacket off and just seeing like bulging muscles.
No, he was just ripped. Normal. He was normal person ripped.
Like The Rock ripped would have been suitable enough.
Have Dwayne Johnson as? Oh no, he's Black Adam. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's already Black Adam. Yeah. You can't have him do Bane.
James Gunn's also producing a movie written by his brothers.
Oh, good.
It's about if Superman went bad, sort of thing.
Oh, are they doing what
It's
ifs?
a horror flick.
Awesome.
It's not actually based in the DC comic universe, but essentially this kid crash lands on Earth, and like a spaceship crashes. 2 farm people take in this kid, except he has superpowers, and he starts just being a complete dick. And it's the 10-year-old that's actually killing people. It's a very Gunn movie.
Yeah, I was just gonna.
If you watch, like, people are like, "This looks like a B-rate horror flick," and it's like,
Super?
"Have you watched Super?" And that was the response from most people. Was
have you
like,
watched Super? Super was real.
Well, because they're advertising it as from producer James Gunn, who brought you Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
This flick, and they're like, "This looks like a B-rate action movie," and it's like, "Yeah, it does."
It's back to his roots. What are you talking about?
Well, and he's producing it. His brothers essentially wrote a movie like they used to do, and he's just like, "I have Marvel money, so here, just."
They paid.
Make your movie, guys.
I'm about to be paid again.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know what a producer is, it's the guy who just shoves money at people.
Yeah, they make things happen.
Yeah. So
you need a trailer. I'll buy it.
This one looks.
You need costume. I'll buy the costume one.
This looks pretty visceral to the point where like the cops are going to the door and Elizabeth Banks is like, "No, just leave," and all of a sudden one of them just disappears off the deck and all you hear is like crunch. Because the kid runs into him at like Mach speed and takes him away, and his partner's just like, "Oh my god, like we need backup! Oh my god!" And you're just like, it's not gonna do anything. It's not gonna do anything.
Just give him the cookie.
Yeah, just give him the cookie. And Nintendo and Sega got the rights back to the Olympic game.
Oh yes, Mario and Sonic at
the Tokyo or. What is it now?
It's Tokyo.
Tokyo Olympics.
Yeah, that's happening next year.
Yeah.
So they got about half a year to pump that out.
Well, it's already they've got half of it made already.
Yes. Yeah.
But
it's just they have half a year to get it out.
But those were like decent games.
They were fun.
They were fun little games. And then last year, the Winter Olympics didn't get, or 2 years ago, the Winter Olympics didn't get one, because they gave the rights to Ubisoft, who used them for Steep.
Yay.
And apparently part of it was because Korea and
oh yeah, it was in South Korea, wasn't it?
It was in Korea, and Japan is not all that like on friendly terms with Korea.
Really?
Yeah. So
I would imagine.
Korea, I'm not sure how much say the country has in the whole thing.
It might just be a formality thing for them not to.
Or like the Olympic Committee was trying to play nice and be like, well, we won't let Japan make a game about this country because it might not come out in the best light.
Yeah.
But now the fact that Japan is hosting
that's a different
the Olympics, obviously Nintendo and Sega probably pooled some money together to make sure they got the rights back because it's a pretty big deal for that. Like Mario was in the closing ceremonies for these Olympics.
I would imagine it would have been weird if they didn't have the game.
Like all of a sudden Ubisoft gets the rights back and we get this really weird like, Steep Summer Games or something like that out of it instead of Mario. Like I'd prefer Sonic and Mario.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna go cartoony and fun. You might as well just do it that way.
Yeah.
Make a better Mario Party. No.
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 The last Mario Party was
no.
just needs more maps, man.
Evil.
But like, yeah, those games are pretty fun. So I mean, if they can chalk it full of
they're
actual
popular
stuff,
enough, and they were popular enough that I knew several people who have picked up 1 or 2 of those Olympic games.
Yeah.
Sonic and Mario.
And as long as the mini games in them are actually well done, and the summer games, I find they do a better job of.
I think the big question or the big concern is like, oh, now it's going to be Switch exclusive, and like just
it definitely is Switch.
Just buy a Switch.
At this point, again, the Switch.
You almost have no reason to. Like, do you like video games?
Right. Well, and at this point, if you're still holding out for the 3DS to like
do something,
like survive the Switch, it's
on its last legs. It is.
They're still making some games for it, but at this point, you can't be like, why are they not making a 3DS version? Because now all they have to do is develop for one system, and they're done.
Oh, did you hear? The Wii U is getting a title.
Whoa! Oh, I did. Axiom
Verge. The physical version of Axiom Verge is finally coming out.
I saw someone pick it up at PAX.
Yeah. It's
you
one
can
of
get
those.
Your copy at PAX if you.
It's one of those games where it's like, huh. And the part of it has to do with the Kickstarter rewards that they had to do, and it was just a real unfortunate series of events.
Yep.
I was reading the story behind it. The guys who ran the Kickstarter and the developers, they basically farmed the Wii U version out to this company in like Brazil or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And what happened was nothing.
Really?
Literally nothing. They sent emails to like, hey, so are you gonna send us the 500,000 copies of the Wii U versions for us to distribute? Thanks, bye. And no, nothing. And they're like, okay, so we've already sent you we sent you the money for it. Can you deliver us the copies of it? And then nothing. And then they ended up taking them to court. And it's like, and then they started replying. It's like, oh no, actually the company doesn't really exist anymore. But I've moved into a different company, but I will still
Just one guy sitting in his house in his underwear, like.
Even the Kickstarter guys are like, here's 2 options. You can either give us the copies that you told us, or you can give us the money back. It doesn't matter which,
Oh, he already spent the money.
One in Brazil.
Brazil went a long way.
And yeah, like he literally said, like, no, I will give you the copies. I will do this, and then
empty boxes show up.
Still nothing happened, and I don't know what the end up result is, but obviously. You can get a physical copy of a Wii U, a new Wii U title.
Yay!
Of the Wii U.
Axiom Verge.
Of Axiom Verge. After literally everything else has had it at this point. Even the Kickstarter guys were saying, like, it's like, obviously this is going to be a loss for us.
Sure.
We know that this is going to be a loss. But we're doing this for the collectors, we're doing this for the fans.
Yeah. You supported us, we're going to hold.
We're going to do this even though we're quite transparently, we're going to lose money on this.
And to be fair, if you want to get money off of Kickstarter again.
Yeah. You have to be very open.
You have to do that kind of
you have to go up above and beyond, because
if you ever want to kickstart again, it's going to be like, well, the last time
you guys promised me a Wii U version and that never came out.
Yeah.
And you never
I paid you for this, and you ended up sending me a plushie instead. Like, thanks.
It's not some Mighty Number 9 scenario here.
That's still. I'm so glad I backed out of that one.
Good for you.
Well, they reached enough money where I'm like, I'll just buy it when it comes out. Like, it still intrigued me when they were still kickstarting it. I'm like, yeah, Mega Man's making the guy who made Mega Man's making another Mega Man game.
Not?
And he's indie, like he's doing it indie style, wicked. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, it reached its thing, and I'm like, well, if I pull out, it's not gonna make a difference. Like, I'll pull my.
That's a wrong way to think about it. If I pull out, I'm not gonna make a difference.
If I pull out my $20, like, it's not gonna make the biggest impact, right? So I pulled my money out, going like, it'll make it. I'll just buy it when it comes out. And then all of a sudden he sold out to Capcom, and then Capcom made it as a game, and it turned out to be junk. And I'm like, why were people putting their money into this if Capcom was just going to produce?
Yeah, he went back to the people.
He went back to the people that screwed him over, and then lo and behold, they screwed everyone over.
Capcom's polarizing.
All of that's my problem with most of the developers at this point is. Most of them, I should say, it's like we don't want to put money into things where money should be spent. Yeah. We're going to put money into dumb things and not into the actual game. Mm-hmm. or we're going to pump out a game so fast that it's not going to be, like, you're not going to notice it as a game that you once loved.
Yeah, Capcom's just really weird to me. Like, you have cases like Mighty Number 9.
Yeah.
And then you have cases like Resident Evil 2.
Sure, where they crush it.
They took that game and made something of it.
And I am all for...
Coming from Resident Evil 7 was good too.
Resident Evil 7 was good.
But, like, Resident Evil 6 and 5 are, like...
5 was okay.
It was... like
because they went for that action.
Yeah, they leaned heavily into the RE4 stuff.
Yeah.
6 is where it was just like, this is just... It's both, but it's... neither is good.
Yeah, they screwed up on all fronts.
It's neither good on the horror and neither good on the action.
Well, they legit just pumped out a game.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you liked it when you got to play as Leon? You get to play as him again. Oh, you liked it when you got to play as Chris.
Did you like all of them? You can put all of them together.
They're all... Everyone is
here. Everyone is here. Except for Wesker. You shot him with a rocket launcher.
And you thought that would make a good game? It doesn't. It's not a fighting game where we can just put everybody in and it's
Everyone is here. Even the Wesker, he's got a rocket launcher hole in him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Capcom weird.
And I'm all for companies trying to do different things. Like Castlevania, I know people were pissed off with the 3D Castlevania games. Yeah. I thought they were okay. They weren't Castlevania.
They were very mediocre.
But they were okay games.
I think, I'm not...
Like, I had fun with them as an action game.
Yeah.
They weren't...
I think there's just that name of it's Castlevania.
You're expecting a Metroid-esque.
Yes. And so you can't label it like that.
No.
And I think the other big thing was like, hey, Hideo Kojima was working on this game, and then it turns out he's just producing it. So it's like, oh, so not really even like Kojima level of ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Yeah, it got pretty ridiculous. Dracula. Good old Dracula. But yeah, like that's the thing. Like if you're gonna try and do something different with the game and it doesn't pan out, that's fine. Like, if Resident Evil 4 wouldn't have worked, at least you tried something new, it was different.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think Konami also gets a lot of flack now too, anyways, because of all the shit that they've been doing.
Well, they did. They were stupid.
Or lack thereof shit.
With their pachinko machines and all of that. Like it's like we're gonna settle heavily on pachinko.
And you know what? That might work in the Japanese market.
It might, but as an American consumer, you're now looking at it going,
you did what to my Metal Gear Solid?
Right. Like you used to make...
You did what to Silent Hill?
You used to make good games. What happened?
Like, where... And it's sad that the only really real successful game lately from them is Super Bomberman R.
Yeah.
Not saying that it's a bad game, but the fact that that's their most successful game
and
lately...
legit, they've remade Bomberman.
Yeah. Like, it's not even like
with new skins.
You are not setting the world on fire.
It's the TF2 of Bomberman.
You're not setting the world on fire with Bomberman.
No. And legit, just remake Metal Gear Solid 3 for the 18th time.
I would buy it still.
Yeah, people are still buying Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, I was close, and then I thought, no, I'm not...
You'd buy Metal Gear Solid 3 for your Switch.
I fucking... Yeah. Yeah, you know it.
You'd buy the HD collection for your Switch. Would you buy the HD collection?
Yeah, I'd buy it. Yeah, I would.
Like, legitimately.
I would.
Konami has to do no work.
No.
And
think of what would happen if they actually put effort into their games.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying that Metal Gear is Kojima's.
Yes.
It is, and it isn't. But if you got someone who was smart enough, who was talented enough to pick up Metal Gear,
and there are always those people.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Just
we look at
not
Zelda.
Survive. Just not Metal Gear Survive.
But even we look at the Zelda series with what's his name kind of taking the reins more and more,
exactly,
doing his own thing
from Miyamoto. Yeah.
Yeah, like other people can make.
Pokemon games is a big example.
Sure.
Pokemon was is a prime example. We had.
You just have to know if you're making a Metal Gear game, it's got to be ridiculous.
IG Numbo was not the original. Not IG. Pokemon. Who? I can't. His name has left me now. Nintendo. He passed away.
Iwata.
Iwata. Yeah. He worked on Crystal and Yellow
He worked on all of them.
No, but he had an active role on one of them. I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
Like he was like the sound designer or something like that for the Red and Blue, and then when Gold and Silver
came. He had to remake Red and Blue for the N64.
He did that for that generation, and then like everyone, they've got talented developers over there. So I can't.
You legitimately need someone to write a story that's just as bonkers.
You can't tell me Metal Gear can't still survive without. It totally can.
Yep.
He has written so much into that world. He's built so much of that world that you can just pick up like this is this character in this timeline because we know exactly what's going on.
Sure.
And then just take that and then to the nth degree.
I think the only thing that maybe you're going to miss with Kojima is some of those weird
meta stuff.
The meta puzzles and that kind of thing.
You're not going to pull out an iPod in the middle of the battlefield and listen to music kind of thing.
Right.
Like, you're not going to be flying in.
Or like Psycho Mantis battles and that kind of stuff where it's like switch controller ports or do like, you know, grab controller 2 to do this fight, or like that kind of stuff's very Kojima.
I would love to see like a Switch version of that Psycho Mantis fight, except you can't do controller ports, so you have to swap the controller
something
around.
Goofy.
And then you have to swap the controllers around.
Or you have to go handheld mode. Or if you're in handheld mode starting the fight, you have to go onto a TV and actually play it. Like something weird.
Yeah.
But
you wouldn't get that anymore. Because that's Kojima's style.
That's Kojima's style.
That's where he thinks outside the box.
What about the boss fight so he dies of old age? You just have to sit there?
You could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like that again.
But
you don't get that.
Whoever makes or writes the next game,
the next Metal Gear,
has to legitimately write a game, like a normal action game.
And then just add
and then just be like,
dumb
okay,
things.
yeah.
Dumb things here.
Yeah.
He's going to be drinking a Red Bull. Okay.
Yeah.
Or
again, yes, like have to turn on your iPod to a certain frequency that like makes his brain boil.
Everyone's got a smartphone right now, right? We'll make a smartphone app that will happen. Like, you know, you connect it to the Switch or
Don't you have phones?
Everyone's got phones now. You actually play Diablo Immortal in the next Metal Gear.
And always a workaround to all of those things, like Psycho Mantis. There's ways around all of that.
In the PlayStation, in the PS3, when you had to do. Spoiler alert for Metal Gear Solid 4, you actually had to fight Psycho Mantis in it.
Yeah.
There's a legitimate scene where it's like, you can't switch the controller ports on you now because you're wireless.
Yeah.
And get wrecked. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't switch the controller port. It's wireless.
Yeah. But that's the thing. You have to write a regular game and then just Kojima-fy it by making it
dumb
like
things.
She doesn't have enough cleavage. This guy's not on fire. He should be on fire. This guy could be made of ice.
He is cutting. This is Raiden. He's got missiles being fired at him. Oh, he's cutting the missiles in half.
Yeah. This guy has to have a spring-loaded neck, so he's like one of those Rock'em Sock'em robots.
You need to have random promotional stuff from other companies in there.
Yeah.
The snake's got a Zune.
Yeah.
Because he's old.
Yeah. But like that's a thing where it's just like you could write a regular game and then just be like, what would Kojima do? And not that anybody could exactly do what he would do.
But you would get close.
But you'd get close enough where
you can make a joke about like make sure you don't remove the memory card while you're saving, and then someone was like, but we're on Stadia.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's a memory card?
Yeah.
Something dumb like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Kojima's big thing was a lot of his gameplay mechanics were always very far out of the box.
Yeah. No pun intended.
You guys have great ideas. You should apply.
Well,
we should also direct and write a lot of movies, but, you know.
Apparently we have bad ideas.
Well, no. No one's heard them yet. We'll get there.
Fantastic Four is great, guys. It's so much better. We could do so much better than it.
Metal Gear Survive 2. We'll fix it. We'll fix it.
100 snakes fall into a battlefield.
Yes. No, 1,000.
Yeah.
It's on Stadia.
Yeah.
It's on Stadia.
1,000 snakes fall into a battlefield.
He's like a clone. And he's a clone, right?
Yeah. And then you can find love on the battlefield.
Yes. With other snakes.
Can love bloom on the battlefield. That's part of the...
There's other ways to win than combat. It's like Civ. You can go for like the intelligence, like the wisdom. You can go for peace, which is like love.
You can set up your own base camp. You can hire your own mercenary. You can pick up other players as mercenaries.
Oh my god! So it's really more than
that is the level that Kojima would think of when making a game.
Battle Royale game.
Except more than just Battle Royale.
Quick, if we're the first ones to make love, we win.
I need to develop a relationship with some people.
If you start in a squad, that's how you have to win, is to find each other. You don't actually start in the same area. You start like opposite ends of the map and love must find a way.
Love is on the battlefield, yes.
Love always finds a way.
Yeah. Yes. And you both get shot.
Because no one actually plays to make love. Or it's the weirdest game you've ever seen.
I would love to see what his take on a Battle Royale game is.
Have your offspring from the game fight in a smaller arena.
Now you're thinking like Kojima.
he Holodev develops. He's making a game.
Good, Kojima, your game.
I've been following it. It's looking really good. It's looking really good. Holo.
Cool.
If you haven't, go check out Holo on the. He's on the stuff.
Excellent.
Yes.
I think that's it for the time being.
Yeah.
If you liked what you saw here, hit the subscribe button. Smash that like
or the follow button.
Smash that like button.
Comment and subscribe.
Share with your friends.
If you have a phone. If you have a phone, like, comment, and subscribe. And
you all have phones, right?
Yeah, and if you have a shirt, you can share. And
if you're breathing right now.
Yes.
Yeah,
follow us on our social media, which you can find at barrelrollnews.com.
If you like what you saw, we're going to be back in about 5 or so minutes.
With the post-credit show.
Talk about games and movies and things that we've done in between then. So stay around, stay tuned, and stay focused.
Bye, everybody.